Hello, welcome to Finance Talks. Finance Talks is a program that is completely focused on dealing with, talking to, recommending, advising, counseling, mentoring in your financial life. And so, in the very first episode, I want to welcome you and also recommend to you to please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share. As this may go a long way to bless a life, including yours, especially if it blessed you. I'm sure it can bless someone else. And also it will be a way of supporting this channel. We really do appreciate it. Now, quickly, I want to say this. God is very concerned about our finances. God is very interested in our finances. He's interested that His church prospers. Every person in Scripture that He has worked with, He has prospered them. When He called Abraham, His plan was not only to just give him a child, but to make him a great nation and to make him exceedingly very rich. He says, your name will become great. And of course, the Bible makes us understand that Abraham became very, 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 very rich. In the book of Job, the 8th chapter, the 8th verse, going further, the Bible makes us to understand that there is wisdom with the ancient, with the elders, with the fathers of the faith. And it tells us particularly, he says, study them, according to the Message translation. He says, study everything which they've learned from experience. He says, for you are but newcomers. There's a whole lot we can learn and study from the fathers and from the ancients. That if we would just do that, we would save ourselves a whole lot of time and we'll be positioned to be able to achieve and do more in life. It is God's desire to prosper the church. He says, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health. So it's absolutely okay for us to be positioning, teaching, and helping His church and believers across the world to be positioned financially. I'll share with you a few very important points that helped me a great deal. I'd love to talk to you about how to move your finances in your business, how to move your financial life and other things. But I'd say this, everything for me, from my observation, starts from knowledge. To be nice to talk to you about monies right now, but there are a lot of content already planned out. But I think the first place to start from is your knowledge of finances. It's so important that the believer be not only spiritually literate, but also financially literate. And so I want to introduce you to a couple of books that changed my life, that helped me, that changed the seasons in my life. I want to introduce you to some classical books, classical foundational financial books. Some of them are not pure financial, they border around that, and I'll explain what I mean by that. But they are very important and they are very key. So I'll be giving you a list of these books and the authors, and you can easily find some of these contents online, both on their audio formats and also their electronic format. So here they are. Book number 1, Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Very popular book. Changed and has helped a lot of people move from poverty to excess. You should read that book if you haven't already, to change the way you think. I remember reading that book as a medical student, and it delivered me from a whole lot of things, and I really recommend that for you. It's the kind of book you read over and over and over and over again. Book number 2, Richest Man in Babylon by D.L. Carlson. Very great and important book. You definitely want to read that one. Very important book. I cannot overemphasize its place and its importance. Book number 3, The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. Very important book. If you want to change your finances, these are books you most definitely want to make your friends. Book number 4, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a very great book also. It has impacted the lives of several of the richest men in the world, and I can testify to it too. It's helped me a great deal, solidify my walls and really look in depth. It helped me to begin to really think. That's book number 4. Book number 5, very important, Money Master the Game, by Anthony Robbins. Money, Master the Game by Anthony Robbins. Very important book. You definitely want to read that. It will propel you into new levels, to enter into the mind and understanding of how the very wealthy, they think and how they do things, and why they do what they do, and why they get the results they get. The next book I'd recommend to you is An Enemy Called Average. It's not a purely financial book, but believe me when I tell you, it will give you a major leap, and it's not, a lot of times, sometimes we confuse and we think everything is about the money, and we go after the money books, the money this, but sometimes there are other foundational things that you need to clear up from your mental space, belief systems and other things. So An Enemy Called Average is a book you definitely want to read by John Mason, or Mason as the case may be. So An Enemy Called Average is a great book, a great resource you definitely want to read. Next book I would want to recommend is, which is also very important, is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Eat That Frog, very important one to help you to understand why you need to push on, why you need to not be lazy, why you need to be disciplined to certain degrees, and why you must do what you must do. I recommend that for you. Next book I also want to recommend, very, very important, is by Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. The Power of Positive Thinking. The mind, it's all about the mind, very important that if you can get the mind right, you get everything else right. Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. The next book I'd recommend also, very great, all-time classical, How to Win Friends and Influence People. At the end of the day, when it comes to monies, many times you're going to make monies or get those monies from around people. And so that means you have to know how to have the right influence, how to relate with people, how to communicate with people, whether they are customers or not. So How to Win Friends and Influence People, I most definitely recommend, by Dale Carnegie. So please go ahead and look that one up. And also another also very wonderful book, very, very important, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Haracovi. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Very great literature, very great book. It will help you to reposition you in a very, very different way. You most definitely also want to look at that book. And of course, lastly, on this list, I want to recommend to you, very importantly, by Bob Proctor, Thoughts Are Things. That is that's huge, because at the end of the day, when it comes to money making, you have to know how to convert your thoughts and relate with your thoughts. So these are the books, very great books. Personally, all of them have blessed me. I've read several of those books again and again, several of them. So I do definitely recommend it. If any person wants to walk into my office tomorrow and say, okay, give me a list of books that can change my life when it comes to finances, this is the line I would go for you. So I recommend it for you. Go ahead, look it up, eat it, study it, believe it. Believe me when I tell you, you will not be disappointed that you do. You'll be also be fulfilling scriptures. Remember, he did say we should go to the ancestors, we should go to our fathers, we should learn of them, for we are but newcomers, So why should we suffer if we can stand on the shoulders of other men? Now, let me say this quickly. So this particular set of books are classical. In a couple of weeks' time, or maybe immediately, depending on the responses, if it is good, please don't forget to give those responses. It's helping us know that our efforts are being appreciated. If the responses are good, or if the demand is high, I'm going to make also a different series or compilation of books that can help you, that are a bit more modern, that are not classical, but that are modern. Allow me to put that. So I'll make that for sure. That will help you. Maybe some of it may even be more specific for certain areas or the kind of things you do in our modern day and our modern age. So you can stay expectant of that. So this is really it. Happy to bring this to you. The Lord bless you. I pray and I hope you're putting them to use. And of course, I'm wishing you a continuously beautiful year. Thank you so much. Remember to like, to comment, to subscribe, and also to share. You may just be helping somebody's life. My life was helped by the content I ate and that I looked into and that I ended up believing in. And I can trust that if you can do the same, your life will also change. God bless you. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye-bye.